Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of PES-Association Football, the podcast. I'm Kevin.
I'm Natchai.
And yes, we're back. It's been a little while, apologies for that. We've had all manner of things combining to a delay, so it's been a whole season since we've actually talked to you last. As this has started a new season, I actually get to ask, how was last season for you, Natchai?
Last season was okay, actually. I ended up placing 5th with my Chivo formation, so that was kind of okay.
Ah, yes, your new Chivo.
I had expected a lot worse.
It didn't start that well, as I recall. And it sort of recovered.
Yeah, it recovered. It recovered quite okay.
You seem to be doing what I was doing about 5 seasons ago now, which is start off really, really bad and then come back and then finish into a really decent position.
Yeah. I just bought some new players yesterday, which I hope will do well. But I haven't checked my...
Do you mean today?
No, yesterday. Yesterday evening. Sunday.
But the rollover hadn't happened then. Why did you do it then?
Because I had too many scouting tickets.
Ah, so you scouting ticketed and took the risk.
Yeah. But I got some cheap buys, so...
Ah, nice. Nice one.
How was your season?
It was good.
Did you finish... how I think you finished?
Well, let me put it this way. The last game of the season was against you, and I was very, very nervous indeed. Yeah, I won the league.
You won the league?
I won the league.
By winning against me?
By winning against you, I won by 2 points. So had I actually lost to you, I would have... Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was pretty much unbeaten for most of the season.
Yeah.
And then with about 7 games to go, we had this very long run of essentially the 5 teams immediately below. There was one team that was mid-table, but everyone else was like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. And I lost the first one against In. And then it was like, okay, well that's fine. And then there was because they were 2nd, and I was sort of expecting to possibly have difficulties with them. And then I drew against somebody that I should have beaten easily. And then I lost to Goku, and then my lead was completely eroded, and then all of a sudden it was within a win. So last 4 matches, I was only 2 points ahead, and I was, after leading for the entire season, I was kind of worried because it's like, oh, I'm not going to lose in the last game of the season, and it's like, oh, to Natchai as well. I'm going to lose by a point after 37 games of just destroying everybody. No, but yeah, AFC RSI won. So
because I saw your tweet that you were gonna end 4th or something. That you were unbeaten the entire season. That you were gonna basically end up being 4th because of
because I just suddenly, all of a sudden, we just hit this wall of just after only losing once prior.
Yeah.
To that, which is like suddenly lost. I was like, okay, you're not telling me I'm all of a sudden just going to stop. And I was already planning content. It's just like, okay, we're going to do it. If I lose this, we're going to have an analysis of why I lost, and we're going to have all the data out on the table. As why do I lost? Because I would like these guys to understand why I lost, and of course I would like to know why I lost as well. But luckily that didn't happen. 103 points.
Wow. So you got a new achievement as well.
Yeah, I got several. I got the Christmas one as well. I got the over 100. But I've got quite a few achievements I need to claim actually. But there's but I felt quite sorry for In actually, because they came 2nd and they had 101 points. So they got over the 100 and still didn't win the season. But he's won it several times before.
Yeah, exactly.
We are going to start off with a question actually, as opposed to going through the news, mainly because it's relevant to today and who is with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, yeah, I got asked, oh, do you speak French? Your French is really good on the written stuff. I was like...
You can really hear that rolling R in your voice.
Yes, it's my French is super. And I am completely fluent in about 3 words, and that was one of them. So, yeah, no, it's not me that does the French. Because whenever we have anything like the blogs or the announcements, and it's from myself or Natchai, then it's normally localized by the other community managers in the team because, as you know, there isn't just myself and Natchai, that we have an Italian community manager and the Spanish community manager and the German community manager, also a French community manager. And they localize the text and they make it so that it actually you can understand it if you do not speak English as your first language. And we have two of them with us today. So on my and Natchai's left, we have Blanca.
Hi everybody, I'm Blanca.
Yep, she's the Spanish community manager. So Blanca, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a football fan?
Well, I'm as Spanish. I'm really big fan of Real Madrid. I have to say that.
Real Madrid. Who's your favourite player?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's going to be a lot of hate and a lot of love on this podcast, I think.
Yeah. Have you got him yet in your team?
No.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Have you had Cristiano
No.
Ronaldo? No.
I've
I've
never
not had
even
Cristiano
found him.
Ronaldo either. I've not had Cristiano Ronaldo.
I've never found any of the good players yet, I think. I've never seen Messi or anything like that as well.
I've still not possessed a player over 90 in my team.
Yeah. It's been since closed beta, I think, that I had a player over 90.
We always get the 90 plus players on our test account actually,
Yeah, exactly.
which is very amusing up until the point that you realise that would be actually really nice in my team and I can't use that player. Yes, so we have Blanca with us today, and we also, to answer Lacey's question probably more emphatically on my and Natchai's right, we have Sév.
Hello managers, hello Kevin and Natchai, thanks for having me.
That's okay. So you may have gathered from the accent he is the French community manager. This is...
Ouch.
He also does a lot. You see the guys on the forum. These are, whenever you see PES-Association Physio,
Yeah.
it's the combined might of all the other community managers, except Puffy. Who has his own account, who's a German community manager. Yeah. But most of the time, the answer comes from Physio, and it's these guys. So, Sév,
Yes.
who do you support?
Oh, that's going to be tricky. So my father is from Marseille, so when I was a child,
Oh, no chance.
I had to follow his steps, and for a while I was a supporter of Marseille. But now I'm a bit distant with this team, and I like Barcelona. Let's say Barcelona.
Barca, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so we've got probably just as well myself and Natchai are in between them.
Yeah.
Although perhaps not, actually. Perhaps we should back away. back away slowly.
Let things happen.
So okay, if you're Barca, what do you think of all this Fabregas and the Man Red transfer nonsense going on? Will he leave?
I'm gonna be mute on this because I don't want things to be more tense than they are now. Because I know my opinion is really important, so I don't want to be into this debate, etc.
Well, you might sway it. Well, you might sway Fabregas. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can ask Blanca about Gareth Bale. I mean, it's the same.
Yes, that's a very good point. Do you think you're going to get Gareth Bale over at Real?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Bale's club said no, of course, and Barca have said no, and yet Bale said yes, and Fabregas has said nah. He sort of said no, but he's not exactly playing, so it's a bit difficult. Would you choose to play as opposed to sit on the bench, but be around a successful team? So I made a point the other day that he can't start for either Barca or Spain at the moment. Fabregas, for some reason, he's not first choice in either side. So
Well, they have a lot of talented players. So.
Actually, that's interesting because if he's not first choice, Fabregas would not be when the formations come around. He would not be optimized for the Barcelona formation, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like, really big star player, yeah, but he's not playing, so he's not one of the ones that's picked for the formation. We'll get onto that in a bit, I think. Anyway, so over the course of the last season, we've had a number of updates and changes. I think the first one we should actually point out, it's something that happened a little while ago, but we've not vocalised it before, which is about the login bonuses. Now, previously we referred to this as login bonuses for your 1,000 coins.
Yeah.
You do not need to log in for that anymore.
No.
Okay. So if you go away on holiday, I know this is a question that a lot of people have been asking us, well, I'm going away on holiday for a couple of weeks. It's like, well, if you're going away for a couple of weeks, then there's going to be a season when you're not in charge of your team, so you really can't do anything about it.
But you're not going to be deleted.
Yeah, you wouldn't be deleted. You wouldn't be deleted just for 2 weeks. Because come on. But in the so you won't be able to renew any contracts, obviously, while you're on holiday, unless you can find your way to a computer and just quickly get on Facebook. But whilst you will not be able to do anything with your team necessarily, you will still get the 1,000 coins a day, the scouting tickets, and everything. So when you come back, at least you'll be able to rebuild your side. The loyalty bonus card, of course, you do need to log on for. So you will note that when we referred to and we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, actually, is that when we're talking about the 1,000 coins and the scouting tickets that you get at the start of the day, we refer to that as your daily wage. So you can think of that however you like. Is it just gate receipts or anything, or something for your sponsor? You can think of it narratively, whichever way you like. But you get that whatever now. Then, our favourite, we had the special packs come back in the game. They'd not been around since about season 6, so there's been plenty of gap between them, and
I think we kind of forgot.
I think people forgot how they worked. Special packs are like specified gold packs in a way. They're exactly the same as gold packs, but in terms of they offer a selection of players with some kind of conditions. So we had English League, Spanish League, Italian League, and then we had the Other Europe League, which was added at the time of recording today. And these give you a selection of 4 players that could be any 4 players within a specific range of that league. Who are 80 or more.
What's interesting about these packs is that all 4 of them are actually above 85 as well. So for those players who are still desperately searching for players above 85, this is your chance. All of them are.
All of these was all of them?
All of them are.
I thought it was 80.
No, 85.
Just sure about that?
Oh, no, it is 80.
It is 80,
Ah, crap.
You know what happened? Your message was translated into Portuguese.
Exactly.
Yes, there was a slight issue with with localization on the gold pack in Portuguese, where it actually said you got 4 gold players over 80. That which wasn't the case. So we fixed that now. It's always as it has been in terms of you get 1 player of a certain rating and then anything else. But so I think people have been buying them and people have been using them. Like I say, it's not something that you're actually obliged to use or buy. It's an option. If you want a specific player from a specific team, you are slightly more likely to get them from this pack because they are definitely one of the players in that. That doesn't mean you will get them. We had to deal with several things recently, and we've just come off a tirade of abuse from somebody because they'd spent money and they did not get Cristiano Ronaldo. It is not called the Cristiano Ronaldo pack. And again, you can get all of these players in normal packs as well. But you've got a slightly higher chance because there's only a certain bank of players that it refers to in the game. But even then, the higher rated players won't appear as often as the lower rated players because there's more of the lower rated players.
Exactly.
It is not an I get this player, and the amount of tickets you spend, obviously you increase your chances of getting that player because you have more goes and picking one out of the hat, but the number of players in the hat is still the same. And yes, you could discard ticket and then get that player again in the next one or the one after that. It's still possible. So yeah, just to be very clear, you are not guaranteed the best player in the game from this. Okay, it is not say that it will give you a specific player. We could not even give you a specific player if you asked us, and I know lots of you do. Could you give me this player? No, we don't actually have the facility to physically give you a specific player. So no. So don't lose your rag and throw a tantrum because you didn't get the best player in the game or the top rated player from that pack. You get what you pay for in terms of selection, and heck, there's no guarantee that player would even fit into your formation and perform well.
Exactly.
So yeah, please bear this in mind.
I'm guessing you two have a lot of the same complaints, right?
More or less, yeah.
More or less. Is it all Cristiano? Is it all his fault?
Yeah.
It's Cristiano's fault, yeah?
No, it's never his fault.
It's never his fault.
He's driving people crazy.
That must be messy with you, right?
It's messy.
I just have Villa.
Of course. Oh dear. All right, so we had that, and like I said, we got the new Other Europe pack today.
Yeah.
Remind me what leagues were in this?
There are some German teams, some Turkish teams, and then
Greek,
French as well.
I don't think there was French because we have a whole bank of. It's basically all the other leagues that we don't have full licensing rights for, and it's mostly Turkish as well as the other ones. So it's Turkish and German mainly, and there's Olympiacos are in there, so there's definitely Greece included. Celtic were in there, so Scottish league is included. I think Celtic are the only ones in that particular group, though.
Maybe some Portugal?
Belgium?
Portugal.
No one wants the Belgian league. Come on. We have some good players.
We know
all of our good players are abroad, so...
Everyone wants Hazard. We've established this. Everyone wants Hazard.
Even Hazard wants Hazard.
Even but he needs to use his resources better in order to get himself.
Exactly.
Yeah. If his demands of a contract are too much, he should negotiate with himself. Okay, so it's all of those basically. It's sort of a mix, but you've got the few German teams that we have. So Bayern's in there, and Bayern's are very much in demand side.
Yeah.
And
Schalke?
PAOK, is that how you pronounce it? PAOK, PAOK.
Okay.
I can't remember how you pronounce it, so apologies if I've done it wrong. But we get a lot of demand for that team as well, and their players are in there. So, like I say, it's a mix. But those are the four, and you've got about 2 weeks, I think, left in order to get them.
And if you really want to be sure which teams are in there, we have the full player list up on the forum.
Yeah. So. For all four of them. But yes, again, remember, you are not going... The number, it doesn't matter. The average rating number does not matter. It's how they fit into your formation. That is what counts. It is not It's not your average rating that decides a game. The average rating has no power or say whatsoever in it. So it is merely a guideline.
If you want more information on that, check out all of our previous podcasts and the FAQs on the forum.
FAQ available in... Every language that we support, eFigs is across the board, guys. Feel free. And if you do have any specific, really specific questions about how things go, with finance and buying of players, you can actually drop us a private message on Facebook and do any of the pages, and you'll get a localized response in your native tongue. So.
As long as you're super nice and bring cookies.
Yeah. Please remember that if you go and private message the English page with a Spanish message,
we're just going to refer you to the Spanish page.
we don't speak Spanish. However, Blanca does.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So yes, go to the Spanish page and send them a private message, and Blanca will get back to you with a happy smile and all the information that you need. So, questions. Now, normally when we get to this stage in the podcast, we have a lot of people demanding stuff when we actually ask the questions.
Yeah.
This time we had an argument that broke out. It seems. Or rather, it was a very intense debate. And we're going to have to go through this step by step. Guys, feel free to chime in with anything at any time regarding this, okay? So, we did have some actual questions in amongst this big debate about positioning and tactics and formations. And we'll get to this in time. Sonjade says, will we get an Asian tour with the Champions League license, the Asian Champions League license? I believe at some stage we will be getting an Asian tour.
Mm-hmm.
What is in that, I do not know.
Exactly.
Because it would depend upon what the license is.
Exactly. It would depend on the licenses, what teams that we can use, if you can use them at all. Because we do have the licenses for PES 2014, which everyone knows. But just because we have the licenses for the console game doesn't mean that we have the licenses for the Facebook game. But our team is looking into it, and hopefully we'll get that soon.
Okay. Will international formations return?
Quite possibly, I would say.
I'd imagine so. When's our next major international tournament? Anybody know?
What year are we?
2013.
Yeah. I know it gets confusing with when we're currently in 2026 in the game, but it's 2013.
2013. Okay, so next year.
Next year with everything.
Next year with the World...
There is a Copa America before the World Cup.
Oh, that might be.
Possibly. I mean, it depends if there's a major tournament international, or even a minor one, I think, you may see the formations coming in and replacing the gold tickets again. Mm-hmm. Although, I don't think they were that popular in comparison to normal gold tickets.
Yeah.
I think that's because people didn't see the benefit of them. But I hope those people who actually are playing the likes of Brazil at the moment are, because nobody knows how to actually play against them. So that's kind of a massive advantage. So I don't know. Maybe you'll find some international tour mode or something.
Mm-hmm. There is a lot of stuff coming into tour.
Yes,
there is
a lot of stuff coming into tour, and we can't tell you exactly what it is at the moment because we don't really know. But there will be. We know that there will be, at least at this stage, a different look about tour maps, or tour maps from here on in, and how you go against specific teams will be rewarded in different ways. But there will be tickets involved.
Yeah.
Tickets involved and chances for gold tickets, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Chances for gold tickets. Gold tickets, whatever happens, will always be rare as a rare finding game. Actually, in fairness, except in loyalty cards, where there's an equal chance of everything, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Joselito Morencito says, when are you up? Oh, yes, I know. I do my best with my limited English vocabulary. When are you updating the teams? Neymar is still playing for Santos, and etc., etc., etc. Natchai, when are we changing that?
We're changing that at kind of the end of the month. We're changing the initials. And then later in September, probably, we're going to finish up the process when the transfer window is closed.
This will also include, I think, pretty much all the updates for the next proper season, which I know is already underway and started last weekend, really. And
so this will also include formations being updated?
Yes, the formations will be updated. We said this in the last podcast. So when they are updated and people don't optimize anymore, you were warned.
Yeah.
But like I said, this will only happen once a year, once a calendar year, and now it's coming up to that. So if there's anybody who's come into your side, like Neymar, and, you know, he may take the position of somebody established, that player is no longer going to, when the formation is updated for Barcelona...
Yeah, he's no longer going to be optimized.
He's not going to be optimized anymore. So all of that's going to be updated. Old formations will... formations from teams who have been relegated and therefore are not actually part of the licensing anymore will be replaced by promoted teams who instantaneously become part of the licensing agreements. So there will be some formation will be replaced. If you have a formation that is of a team that did not have a very good season last year, might want to consider changing it over the course of this season to something else, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Julian Amir Sadri says, why can only new gamers get 4 goal players?
This is a question that we get asked a lot.
Ever since it was introduced, yes.
Yeah. It's not because we don't like our veteran players, not at all.
Yeah.
But it's because new players need to be able to compete kind of with the older players. They're having a disadvantage because they can't enter league for 4 days. So we need to find a way to get them to play and to build up their team to the point that they like the game, actually.
We want them to stick. If there's 4 days where they can't actually really interact because it needs for that long a period to be settled into a league network system, we do kind of want them to stick around, you know, guys. So yeah, so for those 4 days, if they log in and interact with the game, then they will get a gold player on a very limited time contract. So it's not like they'll be able to keep hold of them. We think it's 2 seasons.
We think so, yeah.
We think so, which would mean the first one would you be in amateur league, whatever happens.
And the second one, maybe in
Division 5. If it's a 1,200 team situation, then everybody's going to be in the same boat anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
All the cups come from that, so all the teams come from that same game world that you would come across.
Exactly.
So there is no advantage.
No, there's no advantage for the new players, and there's no disadvantage for the veteran players.
Yeah, veteran players aren't going to suddenly come across this superstar team in the cup and get knocked out because they're already established.
Exactly.
They go into division, if they get promoted up into Division 5, they have a sporting chance, but after that season, then they've not really, then it's up to them to keep the player or move on or have it. It's like an introductory phase just to dealing with these players as well, so it's kind of good. There'll be some additional changes as well with stadium, which we thought was going to come in or by now, but it's coming in end of the month as well now.
Yep.
But the point is,
they don't affect you.
They don't affect you. But the point is like why are you giving new players this? You know, if you
We need them to stick
I'm trying
around.
I'm trying to give a decent analogy here, but you can't really complain that after. I mean, we have people complaining that we've been around for like 10 seasons, saying, "Well, you didn't give us this right at the beginning." It's like, well, no. Offers differ. If you get a free gift or something with a purchase, and that's a standard, and then things update, and then all of a sudden you get a different free gift if you started buying a magazine or something. You don't turn around and go, "Excuse me, I've bought this for 10 years. I demand 10 years worth of this free gift that you got." It's if an offer changes, you don't get to retroactively claim that as the new gift. You had the benefits of X many seasons experience and knowledge. That's your advantage over these guys. But again, you will not even be unless it's a very, very rare situation and they're popped into an already established league because of zombies. Then it's not something that's going to affect you in any way.
No, exactly.
So when other things change, and I mean, looks like we're doing this thing with the stadiums. You didn't want us to like reset all of you to tutorial, did you? So that but I want to do that as well. It's like, okay, we'll reset everybody to tutorial. Nothing you've done so far has mattered. But where's my stuff gone? Oh, but you wanted to do the initial
tutorial again.
The tutorial again. So we don't do that, guys. Camino says, I put let me rephrase this, that they like the Konami and the PES page and haven't received the awards yet. I know everybody's had that, and everybody's been messaging about it. I'm sure you guys have,
Yes.
Plenty of it.
Plenty of that, okay.
I don't have the rewards either
You don't have the rewards either?
No.
I've only got one of the rewards.
for the in the page.
Yes.
Yes, I did, but the two others, no.
No, I got the PES one, actually.
Oh, lucky you.
But I did not get the Konami one. So it's everybody. This is affecting.
Yeah.
Natchai, why haven't they got the achievements?
Because it's broken. No. The thing with these achievements is that they're very complicated in how they work because the program has to actually go outside of itself and outside of its own portal to find out whether or not you liked those pages, which is not something that is easily programmable. And I'm sure there are some computer whiz kids out there right now saying, "Oh,
That's so easy.
we can do this in like 3 hours." Sure, but our dev team is looking into it and should be fixing it this week.
Yeah, we're sorry it's taking so long. People were saying that we should compensate the players, but if we knew which players were due the achievement, we could give them the achievement.
Exactly.
Also, you did not know before that season that you were going to have those coins, so you really should plan in advance. Especially if you know that there's an issue with the achievement. Don't bet that achievement is going to save you. Because we had a message that was, I'm short 600 coins. I need to do this renewal, or I'm short 600 or 700 coins or something, and I need this to help out. And that was like a week. That was after the first week. And then during that time period, they were still that amount short. So why didn't they just... didn't understand why they just didn't... you've got at least 6,000 coins, let's say, to play with. Okay, well, I needed to do this. Use some of your daily and the next day and sort it out, and if you get that back, then that's fantastic. But yes, obviously, I think everyone got the PES one, the PES-AF one, because the game knows that the homepage is that, because it's attached to it. So, yeah, we're waiting for... Last time we heard about this, we were actually waiting for Facebook to give us some information. So it's Facebook that's actually causing the problem now. And they're causing the delay.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Down with Facebook. What's it ever done for... Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, whoops, the game. But yeah, we are waiting for Facebook to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which can take some time.
Yes. Okay. Dibizal says, do you play PES on consoles? If so, what platform do you play?
Sometimes PS3.
We have PS3 in the office here,
Yeah.
but we're not. In fairness, we're normally busy answering you guys, so we don't get to play it. I don't have a PS3, so I would happily play this slightly more in my free time. But not having a PS3, I can't take one of the copies that we have home with me. I only have a 360 in that regard.
Do you guys play PS on any console?
I used to play when I was a student. I used to play PS 2008, maybe
Mm-hmm.
the one with Ronaldo and Drogba on the cover. So maybe
Right.
I would be wronged by the managers. And yeah, I was a student, so with a friend of mine, we used to spend nights just doing
Studying.
studying.
Studying the inner
And
workings
after
and
1 hour of
philosophy
study,
of.
we were doing 3 hours of PS, so it's, it's very well balanced.
That seems completely normal.
No, yeah.
1 hour of study, 3 hours
It's
of play.
healthy. It's healthy.
Exactly.
Is.
So yeah, that's the one I used to play. Yeah. It was okay.
Have you ever played PS on a console?
Yes,
Mhm.
but not anymore. Sorry.
We'll get her back into the PES.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll lock her up in the dev room with the PS3.
With PS3. Oh yes, incidentally, again, guys, we don't know about PES 2014.
No.
We do not. Also, you can send us messages on Twitter or Facebook. We still won't know.
No.
It's please actually, message the official Pro
Official
Evolution,
PES.
accounts for any details. Check the usual channels. You've got the if you're not sure what fan sites to look on, we advertised that fantastic just portal which just lists them all by nationality, which is fantastic. Peasantry, I think it was.
Peasianity, I think.
So check that out if you're not sure of somewhere to call home as a PES fan. But yeah, demos, stats, will it have this? We don't know. It's not our game. Speak to Adam. Adam loves dealing with those questions.
And he has a podcast now.
He does have a podcast now.
So he can maybe discuss
answer it
that
on
in
there.
his podcast.
God, this is a leading question, Dibizal. This is a very leading question. If you could change one thing about the game, what would it be and why? Blanca.
What would you change?
If you could change one thing about the game, what would it be?
I think not change. I would like to add the friends transfer.
Trading?
Yeah.
Player trading.
I think it would be fun, but I know it's
Yeah,
difficult. I know.
Yes, and unfortunately, now that people get those 4-goal players, that pretty much rules it out
Yeah.
entirely.
I know. Spanish community is crazy about this
Yeah, I know.
question.
But we want to swap players. But yes, but how many of you will just swap players with yourself and the multiple account? Some can do, which is a shame. No, it's a shame, and it would be nice if it was in the game.
Yeah.
Actually, moving on about that, one of the people said in amongst the vast array of messages we have about this, somebody actually put down a really good suggestion, which was an auction house for those players.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? As a possibility, have an auction house for specific players.
But how would it work? A manager would put one of his
Yeah,
players.
you would put one of your players up for auction.
Yeah, that could be cool.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
at least.
I mean, coins would go out of the game, presumably, because the house would take a cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that would be, but then you get slightly more, and you can target specific players. I don't know how that would work, though, in terms of because if we can't put a specific player into a team, I'm not sure how you would.
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but it needs a lot of work, I think.
It's an interesting idea, and it's one. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but it was on the Facebook wall, and it kind of leapt out. But I mean, that's an idea that we can put to the dev team and just go, have you considered that?
Mm-hmm.
I think they used a well-known fantasy MMORPG as an example, who do have an auction house. And for that, it's slightly different buying a player versus your
Buying items.
Yeah, buying items. Your magic shoulder pad of holding, or whatever it is, that is only available to complete a specific set.
Bracers of biting.
Mm-hmm. Right. EDV21, hello Eduardo, says, I'd love the conversation with Eduardo on Facebook, private messages. Lovely. Really, really nice. Any updates to have more scouting tickets?
Well, there's a lot of tickets coming into the tour, but we can't really say any specifics about that yet.
Yeah, we're not sure how many of those are free tickets, as in just, with a scouting ticket that you can spend in a club, or is a special ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know, and when we have more information, obviously we'll let you know, and we get the full picture. It's still changing even now.
Yeah.
Still changing even now.
Final minute tweaks.
Ubaid says, when are you going to add more graphics to the game? I mean, the concepts and new updates are going very well, but graphics also attract gamers very much. A menu is made up of black and white colour, and players are also animated, not real photographs. Well, not even animated, so I think it means just computer graphics. And not real photographs. Why is it then we sign a... Well, okay, there's actually many points here, so let's go through them one by one. The menu is black and white in colour. Well, that's because it's easier to read white text on a black background. Also, the background itself differs depending upon the time of day it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's always black for you, I expect that you're playing it very late at night, the game.
Have you never played it at night, Severin?
No.
No?
You should.
Well, after the match of 11 p.m. for my time zone, I tend to...
It's normally dark. The skies above the stadium is normally dark.
Really?
No, yeah, it's so, I mean...
Normally the
3 o'clock now,
the floodlights come on when it's like after 6 or something.
Yeah, it goes through a very bright midday period where sky's blue, birds are chirping in rosette, but after that it goes like a dusk period as well, and then it's full on floodlights. So yeah, check it out if you didn't realise that beforehand. Players are graphics, not real photographs. I think that requires a different type of licensing, first of all. It would also require everybody and every player in the world to do a front-on forward photo for us. And I don't believe that's even the same with PES.
I don't think so. No.
Is it? Yeah, it would be nice, but
I kind of like the charm of the computer graphics.
yeah, and you've got a various ones, because you've got the forward profile version, and you've got several animated versions of them doing kicks and things, and those are also the same graphics, of course, that appear in the game when you're actually following it through. So it allows that to be shown. Okay. Why is it that when we sign a 75 player and a 90 rated player, the animation is the same? It is a great deal to find a 90 rated player, so his entrance should be somewhat different than the lower rated player. Yeah, there's...
You do have the opportunity to share that you've purchased
a star player, you get the opportunity to... I think it's like 85 and over, isn't it? Or,
probably, yeah.
you get a chance to share it on Facebook that you had that. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you want to say. It's not like it makes it kind of sound like, when he goes onto the pitch, you should get like a better ovation. But there's no I in team.
No.
Everyone comes out the same. It's not like basketball where they all come out individually and go, "It's this player, woo!" Everyone comes out as one cohesive unit. So, yeah, that's not going to change. As Natchai said, you've got that other option.
Just imagine having football with like WWE entries.
Entrance themes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that would be interesting.
Have Ronaldo come out and like samba music. With two ladies at his side.
Yeah. Oh no, the ladies have interfered into the match and have cunningly hit Messi with a loaded purse. He's down. He's down and Ronaldo scored.
I know one thing, cage matches would
Good
be
God
awesome.
Almighty. We go back to a very famous football boot advert, I believe, with
exactly.
that.
That was awesome.
Making the game more interactive. Since all we have to do is click on play and then on skip, there is no fun in that. You should add something in between. There is something in between. It's the match report that goes along and tells you everything that has happening.
You can't skip league matches. You have to.
Yeah, the league matches you can't skip.
Friendly matches you can't skip either.
Friendly matches you can't skip.
So
there was. I don't know if it's still in the game. I don't think it is, but there was like a 2x speed button.
Yeah, there used to be. I don't think it's.
I don't think it's there anymore because people just wanted
just skip.
There are more. To be honest, you're better off watching the game because then you actually know what's going on via the match report.
Mm-hmm.
So, because otherwise, all you just go, "Oh, why did this happen?" It's like, well, if you read the match report, then it'll probably explain why. And what did happen, and why was this player performing so badly? Well, how many times did he miss?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did he let somebody through? Just add something in between, but no, that's... Yeah, at the very, very beginning there was 2x speed, but there's no point in it, sadly. Right, unfortunately, we're now on to the big,
discussion.
humongous thing. Right. So this is Lacey's post. So I've done some research and found out that most tactics asks for T-type players for most positions. Then speed, then power is pretty much behind. Actually, only 3 teams rely on powerful players. In attack, there is a huge difference, especially with 2 strikers. Players will have a hard job to get a tactic working with a speedy and other type attacker at the same time. All teams should be based on them. I know this game is going for realism, but this is a huge problem regarding gameplay. A lot of players are useless for this reason. For example, Bonteng or Song or Brahmi, etc. Despite good ratings and skills, they cannot play accordingly. For a good game, it's necessary to have a perfect solution for everybody. All players should have almost the same chance to play on their position and become key players. This can be done either by boosting some mediocre player skills relatively to their position or adding virtual players. And of course, tactics should ask for each skill in the same amount. Are PES planning to do something on this issue? Okay. Well, first things first, it does not surprise us that in terms of the statistics, technique is the most important. Because the game is mostly about technique.
Especially now.
And most teams play that. It's not a case of speed, everything on the break. It's not a case of being a powerhouse and bulldozing your way through. That the technique will always be, I think, the primary of the 3 stats, even though it's not officially.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not officially, the way the game is played, it's going to be that. So, players that play in certain positions are keyed. In formations are keyed to that position. I don't think it makes players useless.
Not at all.
Yeah, again, so you wouldn't have that many formations for pure speed or for pure power.
I have some.
Yeah, I mean it's still an effect, and it's still important.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone in my formation actually utilizes technique.
But for a good game, it is necessary to have a perfect solution for everybody. Well, no, you could just be an all-round player.
Mm-hmm.
All players should have almost the same chance to play on their position and become key players. They still have some degree of optimization for if it's their position. If they're a centre forward and they have optimization for being a centre forward, then they have some degree.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one layer that's not missing, that's not there, which is the stats, which admittedly is the most important one, but they're still good. Everyone has a perfect solution because it's their, well, I say everybody, most players have a perfect solution because it's their natural position in their formation.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why none of these players that are mentioned are useless as well, because they all have a perfectly optimized position in their real life formation.
Just there may be more formations that fit certain types of players, but that's not our fault.
No.
If you're going to have it that the formations are the teams and the positions for that formation are those players, then if it's how that team plays and all the teams are doing technique, and I say all the teams, then not all the teams are doing technique, but we can't just suddenly change half of the formations because it suits. If there are more technical players, then there are more technical players.
Yeah.
Which is where it started, and then it went on to another thing. So this is Lacey again, and I'm just going to go through the points as we get to them, really. So I started a new profile, and I got 4 free players, and I made like 40,000 coins in a day. I'm not sure how on earth they've done that. And I've got 81 rated team, average, which is a fair team.
Yeah.
It's a decent team, that. On my main profile, I was nearly relegated until I found some good players for Marseille Tactic. Then I was in the top 6 teams. Then I got real life programs, can't play for 2 days, and I lost 4 players, which I would renew for 1 year if I would have that option. Okay. Now I've got a level 55 profile with a rating of 78 and only 4 good players. Well, for a start, it's 4 good players in relation to the formation. Any player can be good, any player can be bad, it's how you're playing them. There is no advantage to levelling up. You don't get coins for level up, you don't get boots, you don't get free players, you can't refill energy. Everything about this sentence, apart from players, is incorrect. Okay? Leveling up gets you
1,000 coins.
1,000 coins. It also refills your energy.
Mm-hmm.
We still get lots of questions about why I just didn't give you an entire new energy bar on top of what you've already got, but that's not how it works in any other game like an RPG, let's say, that when you level up, it replenishes your energy. It does not give you X amount of energy. So if for some reason, let's say, you level up and then you do an achievement and you claim an achievement and that's like a lot of XP, and then you level up again, you've just wasted an entire energy bar of stuff. If that's going to level you up again, hey, do the other energy first, so you're not losing that. Okay, so yeah, you get that. Also with boots, is it 5 levels?
Every 5 levels, yeah.
Every 5 levels, you get a pair of boots. So there are advantages to leveling up with XP. Every game gives advantages for leveling up, making game more and more addictive. But this game is only interesting until you reach Division 1, and you can keep your players. Any plans to give some advantage for high-level players, like researching or skills in RPGs, RPG style? For example, stadiums would give bonus. Okay, so stadiums will give bonus eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Researching or skills. Leveling up involves you playing Tour. Playing Tour will unlock items and positions when this stuff comes in ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Ranking helps you research for which are the best players for your position. So all of those things are actually there. Our problem is when some players get thousands of daily gifts, stacking energy and tickets, others can only make 50 to 100 daily. The game economics are clearly bad. We need equal chances to perform well. You can't reach this without spamming your Facebook profile and making all-day friend invites. Okay. First of all, yeah, stacking energy is you can only gain like 1 energy, isn't it, from gift, and that's kind of rare, or it's less rare. It's
less rare, but I mean it doesn't really amount to.
It's still friend points mainly, isn't it? Friend points. Oh, no, it's friend points and energy as well, which is the 2 highest ones. Yeah, it's a Facebook game. I don't really know. I don't know how to respond to it apart from that. In that, yeah, it's Facebook social games will involve social interaction, and those who interact more will get slightly more. Thousands of daily gifts. I don't think
anyone
they do.
gets thousands. There's a friend limit of 5,000.
Stacking energy and tickets. Tickets are a rarity in gifts. They're actually you can get 1 ticket, but it is actually rare level in terms of its appearance. So you wouldn't get that many tickets, even with a magical 1,000 gifts. Need equal chances to perform well. I think you have that. Sorry to disagree on this, but I think you have that, and yeah, there's going to be some who have a slight advantage, but generally it's equal.
Mm-hmm.
It's equal. I had somebody complain who had previously complained actually about people who buy players having an advantage, and then they came across somebody who had clearly been spending money and had a very high and powerful side. And he had the right tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And he won 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually messaged us apologising. Apologising about that. And say, hey, you're right, it's clearly that. So it's not all about that, or it's not about monetization, it's not about any of that. It is about having the right setup. You don't have to spend all day making friend invites. You're better off, I think, with a core of people who you actually do know and who do play the game and who will give you gifts every day, than doing and going out of your Facebook profile and spamming. Because if you do that, then Facebook's going to turn around and go, yes, but you don't know these people. And then it's going to lock you out. Or somebody kept telling us the other day, clock you out. But I've been clocked out. I'm clocked. It's not going to be like that, guys. You're going to have to deal with some kind of degree of social here. I know that every manager game is a simulation based on real life events, players and tactics, but this is a game, and good games are sometimes subjective in some areas. A good game needs some balance and tweaks. We agree. We agree with that.
Yeah.
There is some lack of realism in places. A stadium doesn't normally cost you 1,000 of your currency. The same boots don't normally cost you 1,000 of your currency either, but it's the economy of the game in terms of balance. In terms of balance and working within it, and there is a little bit of suspension of disbelief for a couple of bits, but ultimately, is PES going to do anything about making the game better in this area? There are always tweaks being made, little tweaks here to the balance, little tweaks there to the amount of goods you get. Just actually how things work generally. So there is always little things going on. At some point, I mean, originally we wanted it to be okay if there's been a major incident in real life, like say Spain win the World Cup. Just say. I'm just saying that to make you smile.
So
Yeah. So Spain win the World Cup, and
Again, she says.
again. Oh yes. Let's not forget. So Spain win the World Cup again. All Spanish players would get a boost via I don't know. It would be supposed to be the equivalent of their conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh yes, conditioning arrows. Conditioning arrows are not morale. That is in PES console. In this game, it is just their condition, and that's based upon the effort they've put into the game previously. Like boosting some players' ratings, for example. Let's say Lahm got a rating of 91 compared to Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not so good. But I'm going to compare the rest of fullbacks. He should have a rating of 97 too. I'm talking about rating, I mean skills. I've done the research about tactics and realised that technical players are needed in most formations. In more formations than speed and powerful players, as I've already established in the previous post. This game would better if all tactics got the same amount of SPT, randomly on all positions. Same number of fast, powerful, technical players in all positions. Yeah, but then you're kind of limited to... I mean, the formations are as the formations are. Otherwise, there would be no point in actually just doing that, and we just make stuff up for the various teams, but then they'd say, well, why doesn't it match this player? Because he's the player that positions there, and it was like, well, it needs an exact measurement of these three. It's not actually possible without completely ignoring the player who plays there's natural abilities. Sorry about this, guys. It's a really, really long one. I would have thought that the attackers are more attacking and would have a higher rating because it's the skill sets are normally higher. I mean, we get onto a few things here in terms of lots of players can't get team bonus, national bonus, tactic bonus, and can't be key players. A lot of players can't be that, apparently. Well, there's 11 players per formation that have player bonus, tactic bonus, and they can't be key players. Well, yes, but there's only so many key players per formation anyway.
Yeah. Not everyone can be key.
Yeah. Torre, Song, Fellaini, SCN, they all look like great players when players based on rating, but usually underperforming. Yeah, but is the position that you're playing them in optimised for the third stat, i.e. the player temperament? Because we know, and we've seen this, in that you could have a player that is absolutely fantastic. And I've had two of these players. I've had Jones and Huntelaar, who are both, and Jones especially, a very popular player and much in demand by players because he's young and he's really fast. Yeah, put him into my side, should be absolutely optimised. Performed rubbish. And that's because I can only assume by this that his actual temperament was pretty much the complete opposite of what was required for that position.
Yeah. And by temperament, guys, we mean individualistic versus team play,
Yeah.
and artistic versus logical.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't listen to our previous podcasts.
Yeah. We also need some fancy tactics.
I don't know. Do we need fantasy tactics?
I don't know if Lacey means just ones that are just made up and random, and players who distribute equally the chances for all tactics. So sort of fill in the gaps in terms of the tactics. I'm not sure that would be possible or popular. This is a game that should reward activity, good choices, punish bad choices. Right now it's just a random simulator with only a few good solutions. No, if you make bad choices, your players will not perform and you'll lose.
Yeah.
If you make good choices, your players will perform, you'll not spend as much money and you'll win. So it does do that. It does reward activity because that's why we have a loyalty card.
Yeah.
Going on tour and actually looking up stuff and finding out things gives you the background knowledge to make the decisions that will actually benefit you. Also, I mean, just going, this really does go on for pages. But one of the points that was made was it turns out there aren't as many speed keepers. There's not many formations that have a need for speed-based keepers. And defences seem to be more power-based, and attack and midfield seem to be technique. The only answer I can really give for that is, yeah.
Of course.
Defenders are going to be more powerful, and you'll see speed more on the left and right back than you would in the centre.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. There'll be more technically gifted players in midfield and up front because that's where the creative side is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Goalkeepers, there's not really many formations that deal with speed for goalkeepers. Yeah, because speed for a goalkeeper isn't
Really,
going to be good.
no.
I mean, you want quick reactions, yeah. But ultimately, I would say that technique and power is probably more prevalent for a goalkeeper than speed. Unless you've got one of these kamikaze keepers that just goes out and takes on everybody and then has a shot.
And then has to run back. Really
And then has to
quickly.
run back. I mean, if he's your free kick taker, fantastic. If he's speed, because he's got to pay it back. I want to know if there is anybody who has anybody who has got a goalkeeper for your set pieces. Because I'd love to know if there's any keepers out there who have that.
The goalkeeper taking corners.
Yeah. Look, so apparently the only good tactics are Marseille, Valencia, Nordjylland, Portuguesa, Man Blue, Man Red, Nice, Celta, and Deportivo, which would be fantastic if only Bayern wasn't one of the most popular formations in the game, and Real. Doesn't mention Real.
And
That's really
Barca.
important. And Barca.
And probably Juventus as well, right?
I won the PS Cup with North London. So.
Yeah, all that. Everybody. It depends upon how you set up your formation as to how it works, obviously. Bazinga actually comes in and corrects wrongly. He says that for leveling up you get 100 coins or 1 to 10 scouting tickets, and no. Are people still operating under the illusion that how Tor used to work? Because I think you got something like that you get that for completing a node, maybe. But a top node, it was 100 coin. But that's how it used to be. But it's not that. It's not been that for many weeks.
Yeah. Stop living in the past, man.
Stop it. Bazinga says, "Do any players have 10 stamina?" I'm guessing they do, but we don't know anybody off the top of our head.
Yeah, I'm sure there has to be someone.
Are any players in the game who have strong positions at left, centre, and right back? Not strong.
It would be surprising to have someone be good on either side of the pitch.
I can see a situation where they'd be strong on left and right back, but not with centre.
Yeah.
And we know that there are people who are strong there are people who cover all the entirety of the defence and are strong in maybe a couple of the positions, but not the third.
Mm-hmm.
So, not all three, I would say, which is a view actually shared by Hometown Hero in the very next post. One thing that is pretty weak is how pointless a player's lighter shaded areas are. I really don't understand why they even have them. I mean, the drop in performance is so drastic. For example, I have Eden Hazard, that I've never been able to use because of this. His optimal position is attacking midfielder left, but he's also shaded to cover attacking midfielder centre. My formation calls for attacking midfield centre with a technique and power, which fits Hazard perfectly. So I would think that having to play a few feet over would be pretty doable for the guy, and his 92 rating. But even with a perfect match of his skill to the formation, he never gets anything over a rating of 2.05. Gets AML, he's optimised, he's an easy 450. Well, first of all, yeah, if he's your darker shade,
It's going to be better. If he's in the lighter shade, then yeah, he's going to underperform a bit.
there are other things, obviously, that are affecting the optimisation of him besides that.
Yeah.
I can understand your frustration with, like, it's only a few feet over the pitch, it shouldn't make much of a difference. But the position within the formation is key for certain individuals,
Yeah.
with certain temperaments and certain skill sets.
And playing centre versus playing on the wing is an entirely different role.
And he can still play there.
Yeah.
So he can still play there, and he'll still perform better there than he would elsewhere on the pitch.
Yeah.
That's the point.
He wouldn't perform as well as goalkeeper.
No, if you stuck him, if you had a left, a centre, and a right, let's say, and it's dark shades for left, slight shading for centre, and no shading for right. The worst position that he would play in would be on the right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could. But so it could also be that, again, with that centre position for whatever formation you're using, it's just not his personal type of position.
Yeah. Which might also be affected by his temperament.
Exactly.
So there are a few issues at play here,
Yeah.
possibly.
So yes, again, the same thing happened with other players. They rode my bench for 3 seasons due to the same thing. I would expect a drop in the rating to maybe 2.75 or so at the most, but 92. It seems pointless to have them listed like that. Well, again, they'll still be listed down. The shading does not take into account the formation that you're using. It's generally, that's their position is here. Whether or not they're suitable for your actual formation, up to you to find out. But again, you will find players that should be fantastic and then aren't, because it's not their type of deal.
Yeah.
Right, that is the end of the questions, which was just one big long series of questions about that. Yeah, we're not going to change the formations to make it less like real life. If real life suddenly starts going to a power route, then power will become more prevalent in the game. Attacking players will need skill. Defensive players will need strength.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers will need a degree of everything, with the exception of
Speed.
speed.
These
Necessarily.
reflexes, but
Yeah. So what do you want for this season? What's your aim, Blanca, for this season with your team?
Oh, I'm going to try to keep my good players, so I guess I have to save coins for it and just try to go to the next division.
Which division are you in at the moment?
Division 4?
Division 4. Oh, so you're making progress.
Yes.
You're going up. Sevran, what is your choice?
No, but I won the PS Cup. I want to do better in my division.
You won the PES Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, well
2
done.
days ago.
Hey!
So I would like to do better in my league, in my division, because I finished 10th or something, which is ridiculous and frustrating.
I think you did a Natchai. Like, you won the cup, but you ended up poorly
I
in
think
league.
so.
Sacrifice the league for the
Yeah.
cup.
And I'm trying to build a North London team. I have 5 players out of 11 so far, so I'm trying to look for
The other 6.
yeah.
It's going to be a
Only
challenge.
scouting tickets and my
Nah.
daily coins, etc., and my rewards from last season.
Yes.
They're not so bad. So this is my objective.
Indeed, I had a ridiculous amount of coins when I came in, because I topped like 2 of the statistics things as well. So it was like, oh, fantastic. Coin shortage?
Whatever do you mean?
Whatever do you mean?
And then I got like 800 coins at the beginning of today.
Oh dear.
That's nice.
I won't tell you how many I had.
Probably 8,000 or something.
A bit more than that.
Oh.
Over 8,000.
Cup kind of did well.
Did you win a Konami Cup?
No.
Oh. But you placed second or something?
Semis, I think. So
okay.
you get a lot of coins for that. And you get a lot of coins for winning.
So jealous.
So yeah. So what's your aim for this season?
My aim is to end up in the top 3. And I think I'll be able to do it this
I think
time.
you'll be able to as well, because Goku started to slip a bit.
Yeah. And hopefully, we'll have started to slip a bit again.
Actually, I'm going to be doing something interesting. Actually, a bit of an experiment, because now I've won the league. I'm quite happy that I was like, that's done. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I don't expect to be able to maintain the level I did. So I've done the transfers, but now I'm going to see how this goes with with me changing the transfers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see how it goes this year, and then the next season after, it's going to be a case of okay. Well, we keep the players we can, as long as possible. I'm actually going to see how the performance starts dropping with the age, properly with the entire team.
So
I'm
you're
going to
gonna
let
start
the
renewing
team
them?
age.
Oh, okay.
So I'm admittedly going to cheat slightly here, but I'm sort of telling you guys this, in that I'm going to give myself enough coins to renew all the contracts.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're going to actually see how AFC RSI actually starts going down over the next 5 seasons with the aging. Because there's quite a few players that are old-ish now. I've had one player he's now in his 11th season. So I'm going to keep these guys and just start to see, I'm not going to change anything and just let the teams like slowly fall down.
Yeah.
And then I'll just rebuild it all over again in about 5 seasons' time. But I just think it'd be a very interesting experiment for everybody to see.
Yeah, it would
So,
be. Well, I hope I do good, because the players that I had to renew, well, the players that I lost, I actually replaced with better ones. So, and I placed 5th last time, so I think 3rd should be possible.
oh, that was why I had so many coins. Because I also let go Gomez, who was like the top player in the game world, and I let him go. So we had like full contract on, and I had about 8,000 coins or something for him.
Wow, that is nice.
But he had like 4.5 average.
Yeah.
So
None of my players had that.
yeah, it was a ridiculous amount. But that's how you make coins.
Yeah. Get all the good players in the first place.
I had Gomez before I switched to Bayern actually. So that worked out well. He's been replaced by Adebayor, who should technically be better, but does he have the personality for the formation?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he does. He has exactly the same. I say that I bought him, and then it was like I just checked, and it's like his personality is exactly the same. So he should do better. So if he doesn't, then that would be interesting to see how the difference is for natural players for their natural position. I'm just doing all experiments now.
Yeah.
All done. Anyway,
Mad scientist Kevin.
we'll be back next time, where when I've moved the entire thing down to some sort of laboratory, where we'll have it hosted next time for my marvelous experiments.
On an interesting side note, starting somewhere in the near future, our international community managers, Sév and Blanca, and possibly the Italian community manager, which you have not met yet. We
will drag her into the next one.
Yeah.
She won't escape.
There is no escape. There is no escape for the Italian community manager.
But these guys will start doing small podcasts themselves in their native language.
Yeah, audio bulletins, just to give you the basics of what's been going on, facts, answering any of your questions. So that's what you guys wanted, so we're doing that.
Yeah.
So nice.
So nice.
So nice.
So nice of us.
Yes, indeed. But yes, so from us four for now,
Yeah.
we will see you next time. Have a good season, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.